better today than I was yesterday, so I'm not quite as dead, I guess. Good night's sleep will do that for you. So, yesterday I talked about the Super Robot Chogokin Reideen figure. This is also released at the same time. This is Choja Reideen, or Reideen the Superior. And this version of Reideen comes from I think a 1996 anime about like a team of 5 boys who all have these bird suits that can summon this giant Reideen. I never watched it. Okay, I'll tell you that. It looked too much like one of those pretty boy animes that just, I don't know, just didn't appeal to me. I always thought the Reideen design was cool. They Bandai had come out with this die-cast of Reideen the Superior, Choja Reideen. You can also call him God Reideen. And it's a really, really nice piece. I like it a lot. I mean, it's maybe a little lacking compared to today's standards, but I think that they did a lot of things right with it. It's kind of the middle of the line between toy and collectible. It was actually pre-Soul of Chogokin, so you can see a lot of the design thoughts that went into the SOC line kind of got their start in this toy. So it's really cool. But there hasn't been another version, toy version of this God Reideen until just this December when Bandai released this one as part of its Super Robot Chogokin line, which is, kind of interesting that they would resurrect this design for the line. It just kind of shows what directions Bandai is going to take this line into. It's just some really kind of obscure mecha robot designs. So I brought these two out so you can kind of see the differences between them before we got into it. As you can see, the shorter one is the newer one, and it's got kind of true. Say, the blue is more blue. The gold is not this transparent yellow that there is in this one. The silver is kind of matte, so it's more of a real looking one, as this is kind of very toy like. Although this thing is heavy as hell. It's a really nice piece. Go get one. Although it's expensive too. All right, so let's talk about Super Robot Chogokin God Reideen. So it's nice. Let's just say that it's nice. Some good articulation here. It's got all the joints in all the right places. Double jointed arms. A little too tight in the elbow, I think. You gotta really kind of do it, but you can get it there. And then when you try to get back, you notice things get all out of place really easy. Head pops off a little too easy for my taste. Once again, swappable fists, and they have these kind of square pegs instead of the ball staying in. Each fist has its own peg system. There is a small amount of articulation in the waist that you can actually get by popping up a little bit in the chest, and there is a waist joint in there somewhere. You can kind of see it a little bit. The shoulder pads move. The head does move, but just the nature of it doesn't really, you can't really turn it around much. You have these flaps. From the back, still looks pretty cool. Kind of has the Egyptian theme going on that the original did. You could see a lot of design cues that it really took inspiration from the original Reideen, where the 2007 or 2008 Reideen thing was just a nightmare. They never really made toys of that one, so that was lucky for us that they didn't. So, alright, so the toy on its own, pretty cool. Metal is his entire lower legs. I think there's some in the chest here. And that seems to be the theme of these Super Chogokins. Just kind of lower legs and chests, which is fine. Has a fair amount of accessories. So, one is you have this shield that goes on the arm here. If I can do it here. Okay. Get the shield. And so you can also attach the blade to it. But in the large version, this is one piece that transforms, but for this they give you another piece to replicate it. The shield basically opens up and causes kind of a reflection mirror attack. nicely detailed. It's a nice solid piece. Kind of big, so you can't really move it around much, but you find a nice pose and stick with it, you'll be all set. So, on the other arm, you can attach the bow accessory, all right, which is kind of nice. This opens up to 2 pieces, and that comes out, so that's really cool. They all secure all nice and firm, which is good. And the big accessory here, of course, is the big bow that Reideen uses. And I've actually, this hand comes off. I just left it on there because that's the only time that I'm going to use that hand. So all you do for that is attach this like so. Bring this hand back a fair amount, and he has a little grabby hand. Like, come on, go in there. There we go. So he can pull back the bow and be all awesome. Kind of cool. And the bow is huge. I mean, when you look at it, it takes up a fair amount of space in the figure. It looks nice. It looks really nicely done. The transparent plastic, everything's sharply detailed. Very nice. There are also some other hands. This is the problem. One of the problems with these balls is that sometimes they don't come out in the fists where they should. But they come out easy enough, especially you pop them back in there. It has these kind of opening hands. I don't know what they would call these. These are forget about it hands. Hey, forget about it. Alright, so here's one accessory that Reideen has. It's a little weapon attack that fits in the chest. Now, sometimes it's easy just to take the head off to do this, so I'm going to do that just for sake of ease. Pop that up, and then this panel here comes out. If you have good nails, there we go. Pull that out. This panel pops in there, and it's the regular Reideen had a similar weapon with only 3 turbines in it, which was kind of cool. So maybe you can kind of go like, "Oh, look at me! I'm the God Reideen." Yeah. All right. Can you tell I've had NyQuil? Right on. So, I mean, come on, this guy looks pretty badass, right? You with me on this so far? He looks good. All right. Not only does he look badass, but he transforms into bird mode. And in the original one, he's called the God Bird. And this one, I guess he'd call God Bird as well. So, you know, oh, his head fell off. Well, it's okay. His head's supposed to come off in this instance, but not all of it. So, to transform into God Bird, I guess with that, you take the hands off, you take the head off, but not the whole head. You leave his kind of little Reideen skull there, which you've never really got a chance to get a good look at Reideen's skull. So there he is. Kind of looks like that dude on the original Battlestar Galactica. Lucifer, maybe? I don't know. So, he comes with an additional head, so you can see obviously this one is the one opened, and this is the closed shroud, and I'll put that on at the end, just so you know that we're going to use that. So, kind of an ingenious thing here. First thing we do is kind of pull the legs up, and you notice there's a little tab here, a little black tab, and I'll pull the other leg up. And then these black tabs will click together. Okay. Put the arms down by the side. That's really all they do. You can bring these wings out, like so, and then bring them in. Now, in the bigger one, there are tabs that will kind of hold these all together. This one does not have that. So, the putting all these things in their own places is kind of haphazard in this version. I mean, they'll go, but then they don't click in as much as everything should. Also, see these tabs here? These actually hold the wings on. they can come off pretty easily, and they'll just snap back in, but that's not a big deal, but just to be aware of it. So these are in the legs. Oop. With that, the legs kind of clip out, and these feet are cool. They have multi-articulated feet. Nice, they're very sharp. Okay, these go up. Make sure that tab, of course, will come out several times during the process. Let's come in. So we're getting there, and now we take the other head. And see these two slots here on either side. The slots in the head will go in there, like so, leaving you with something that resembles all my parts here. Kind of a bird mode. That's pretty much Reideen's bird mode. You know, it's not precise. This thing could really have done with some extra tabs to kind of lock in more stuff. As it is, it's kind of, you move one thing and another thing moves, and you kind of messing with it for like a half an hour to get it to look the way you want it to. And I mean, you'll get it there eventually, but it's not perfect by any stretch. It's really, I mean, the robot, the bird mode is really a novelty for this thing. Cool, but you know, not really what it's all about. And see, it's a little wiggly. I can lock that back in there. So I did notice one flaw. If you check it out, look down the end. This is in nice and tight, but you can see how this is some space on this side as opposed to that one. So the whole thing got glued together wrong at the factory. You can kind of see, like, let me get out here. You know, it's nice and tight over here, but over here there's over here there's a big gap underneath. So, and if you look at it straight on, you can kind of see where this is off. So, I don't know, I've thought about forcing it, but I want to break it. It clearly looks like it was meant to be that way. So they was just maybe glued in the wrong spot. I don't know. So a little QC issue there. But where it's in a bird mode that I'm often not going to display it in, whatever, I guess. You could always, I'm sure, wherever you buy it from, you could get a replacement if it's a little off, because I haven't heard any widespread reports of that being wrong. So, but yeah, it's cool. It's you know, it's nice just for the fact that it's a toy of a design that we don't see often. You know, it's definitely not loved like the original Reideen is, and I think it deserves a few more toys than what we've seen of it so far. So who knows? Maybe we'll start seeing some more designs from this if this one sells well. There was a black version of the DX Chogokin that came out, so maybe there'll be a black version of this. And there's also a rumored colored version where the silver is tinted, the limbs are tinted the color of the original Reideen. It's kind of a rumor ghost thing that I vaguely remember seeing pictures of it years ago, and none have shown up since. So who knows if it really exists. So, you can get your God Reideen, or Choja Reideen, or Reideen the Superior at HobbyLink Japan at HLJ.com. And that is it. Thanks again for watching. I am going to go take some more medicine, and hopefully we'll have some more cool reviews in the new year. Alright? Take it easy. Drive safe. Later.